Here.
Howard.
Here.
Redland.
Here.
Thompson.
Here, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everybody. We will move on to a public hearing this morning. We have a public hearing regarding an unfit building at 122 West 14th. You're all pretty familiar with this, but Zach, if you want to come give us just a quick synopsis of where we are. I guess I should open this hearing, huh? Let's open this hearing at 5:01 p.m. Now, Zach, thank you.
So after our last meeting, I did get contact from the contractor who did get license with the city. The appropriate documentation of construction work through his license. And had it died off until Friday, this last Friday, when they applied for the permit. So that's the whole purpose of the resolution I presented to you guys, is to give an actual timeline as to when they need to have it taken down by. And then if it's not down by that time, you guys can give me direction to move forward with invitation.
Anybody have any thoughts or comments they wish to share? I know but I'm a little frustrated with it. I think, with the last time we discussed this, we were in the same boat where we were discussing having a resolution, the same sort of resolution, and he visited with us and said that no, he wanted to move forward and take care of his property. And then, like I said, there just hasn't really been much contact until just now, when we're up for the resolution again to deal with the property. So that's, by word, he's saying he's invested and wants to do something with it. By action, I'm not seeing that personally.
Guess I'm at least somewhat pleased that he's started the process. He went and got the permits, but it seems like we've had to hold their feet to the fire for the last several months to try to get anything done. So I guess if that's the way that they want business to be done, then I'll continue to vote in favor of having it tore down until they show up to tear it down themselves.
And they still will have, if the resolution passes during the regular part of the meeting, they'll still have some time to tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
But it still keeps the timeline moving forward.
Yes.
So,
Any other comments from the commission?
and they didn't say whether they were going to attend the meeting tonight or not, did they?
No, I suggested that they should attend because it's obviously better than to see somebody in person and actually hear from them. But I did not receive any comments today.
Yeah, I think we need to set a date and do what we need to do because they're dragging their feet, just plain and simple.
Is there anybody else who wishes to make any comments regarding this property? Okay, then let's close this hearing at 5:03 p.m. Thank you, Zach. Okay, let's move on to public comment. We do have one person signed up. We have Mr. Reed Petty. If you would, come up to the podium, introduce yourselves, let us know who you are. That should be on. You should be good to go.
I'm Ray Petty. I work for Senator Jerry Moran's office, and I work in his Kansas offices. So I'm in his Manhattan office and then also his Hayes office at different times. And so I'll be covering the north central and northwest part of the state for him moving forward to start working for him in January. So I wanted to introduce myself. I was in Colby earlier today. I'm going to be in Midland tomorrow morning. I'm getting a tour of the Northwest Tech tomorrow and meeting with Ben Shears. And so I was just pulling in tonight. I was going to spend the night here and was looking to see if there was anything going on and saw that you all were having a meeting. So I thought I'd stop in and say hello, give you my card, and just pass that along, let you know you can reach out if you guys ever need to. Also, just to let the general public know and you all, when you think of a senator, you think of political stuff, but we also do governmental services that we can assist with as well when it comes to federal agencies. And so if you know of anybody that's having any issues with Veterans Affairs or Social Security, IRS, immigration, passports. Maybe a passport needs to be expedited if you know of anybody. Or if you need the letters of support for federal grants, just let our office know. We can help assist with all those things. So appreciate all you do. I used to serve on a local school board myself in Louisville, Kansas, so I understand being an elected official at the local level is a thankless job, so appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Right,
Thank
thank you.
you.
I appreciate you taking the time to come all this way over here and meet with us. Okay, is there anybody else signed up on the consent agenda today? Or on the public comment, sorry. Now let's move on to the consent agenda. We have A, the 2020-24 commission meeting minutes, and B, the appropriation ordinances 2024-05, 2024-05A, and 2024-P05. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns on those this week?
I would motion to approve consent agenda items A and B.
A motion by Commissioner Showalter,
Second.
second by Commissioner Myers. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Howard,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Radlin,
Yes.
Showalter,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay, we will now move on to presentations and proclamations, and we do have a proclamation this week for our state champion wrestler, Destiny Gonzalez. I do believe Coach Sramick is wanting to say a few words on her behalf. If you would like to step up to the podium and tell us what you think.
Oh, well, obviously we made history, 2 weeks ago now, our first ever girl state champion. It's a little bit about Destiny. She's a junior. She has put a lot of time in this sport, and I think that's been a goal since she was, how long have you been wrestling for? Since 7th grade, so that's something that started in 7th grade, and I think it was definitely a goal, especially after last year when she lost in overtime, and she put a lot of time and hours in the last year. I think me and Coach Wisnat were talking, she probably wrestled, 30 matches since her sophomore year got over in the summer, and then add the 40 matches that she wrestled this year, so she put a lot of time to get where she's at right now, and I think it's just, she's a great representative of our community and our school, and you couldn't ask for a better representation of our sport and in our community. So she finished 34-6 and was a state champion this year. She's also placed as a freshman and as a sophomore, and I think we're gonna hopefully see her next year, maybe back here hopefully, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's Destiny Gonzalez.
Good job.
All right, and with that, I shall read this proclamation, where it says, whereas the city of Goodland celebrates the winning title of Class 3A Girls State Champion Wrestler for Destiny Gonzalez and wishes to honor her for her hard work, dedication, and athleticism. And whereas Destiny Gonzalez of Goodland won the 140-pound weight class state championship with a 4-2 decision over K-Don Hogg from Ellis. Whereas head coach Joseph Sramick, team member parents, faculty, and student body at Goodland High School were integral in guiding Destiny to victory through their unwavering support. And whereas citizens of Goodland and fans of Goodland High School athletics are proud of the accomplishments thus far of the Goodland Cowgirls wrestling team, and especially Destiny Gonzalez for her achievement of becoming a state champion in the 140-pound weight class in wrestling. And whereas the city of Goodland commends Destiny Gonzalez for her dedication, hard work, athleticism, and perseverance in the sport of wrestling and wishes her well. Now therefore I, Aaron Thompson, Mayor of Goodland, and the entire City Commission to heartily congratulate Destiny Gonzalez on her outstanding accomplishment and recognize March 4th as Goodland Cowgirls State Championship Day. All right.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to come up and take a picture with us?
Thank you.
Coach.
Okay. We'll move on to ordinances and resolutions now, starting with ordinance 1769 to allow Sunday sales. Okay.
Mayor, members of the commission, there was some concern last meeting, and the issue was tabled at that time regarding, to make it absolutely clear what was being said in section 2. There were some changes to the wording in section 2 of the proposed ordinance that should make it clear that it's 9 to 8 on Sundays and 9 to 11 on other days as far as selling packaged liquor, sale at retail, and that was included there. But the rest of the ordinance remains the same, and staff stands for questions.
Do we have any questions? No? Yeah, I think it clears it up. I was the one that had the question on the wording, and it did clear it up very nicely, so thank you for that. And I just do want to kind of reiterate that this ordinance is not saying that anybody has to be open on Sundays to sell liquor. It just gives them the option if they wish to do so. That, I guess I will make a motion to approve ordinance 1769 to allow Sunday liquor sales.
I'll second that.
Have a second by Commissioner Howard. Any other further questions? Roll, please.
Myers.
Yes.
Redmond.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay. I mean, kind of based on the conversations I heard during our public hearing, I'm going to go ahead and then bring forward this resolution number 1626 regarding the structure at 122 West 14th, which would deem it an unsafe and dangerous structure that would allow the owner a period of 30 days to commence repair of the property or demolition themselves before we would decide to put it out for bid to take care of it ourselves. Do we have any questions or comments on that?
A motion to approve resolution 1626, reference 122 West 14th.
A motion by Commissioner Showalter,
Second.
second by Commissioner Myers. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Showalter.
Yes.
Redmond.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay. Move on to formal action, starting with the city attorney contract renewal.
The copy of the contract is included in the packet, and includes the items, the agreement for the, as stated, for an additional 2-year term, and for the amount stated that was agreed upon between the commission and the city attorney.
So that would be, so it's a 2-year term, for the amount of $5,250 a month. Anybody have any questions on that contract?
Looks good.
Okay, so I will make a motion to approve the agreement with Jay Kling, a city attorney, as stated in the agreement presented.
Second that.
I have a second by Commissioner Showalter. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Howard.
Yes.
Redmond.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. So we'll move on to cemetery board applicant. We have Tammy Hayes. I believe she has been on the board for quite some time now and is reapplying to continue to be on the board. Got to find my spot again here. we have any questions or concerns regarding her reappointment for the cemetery board?
Make a motion to approve the application for Tammy Hayes to the cemetery board.
I have a motion by Commissioner Showalter,
Second.
second by Commissioner Myers. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Redmond.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay, next we have an appointment for the KMEA Board of Directors. Kent, if you want to touch on that one.
The Kansas Municipal Energy Association, we have 2 directors on the board of directors. This recommendation is the appointment of Chris Douglas, our director at the power plant, to be Director 2 on the KMEA Board of Directors. So it's basically a renewal appointment, and it's for a 2-year appointment. So that's the only change for this year.
I'll make a motion to approve Chris Douglas as Director 2 on KMEA Board of Directors.
I have a motion by Commissioner Redland,
Second.
second by Commissioner Howard. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Showalter.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Redmond.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay, on D, we have a change on the name of the ownership for a prior bid award.
Yes, we did.
For, trying to work my way down the paper here. So it was, we had awarded a bid for the project on Caldwell Avenue to McCormick Asphalt Paving, and they have since had business ties with a new organization, Bettis Asphalt and Construction, Inc., who will actually is the overseeing ownership now. And so we need to make a change to allow for the contract language to show that they will be the one doing the work instead of McCormick. I believe that is correct, right?
Yeah, basically the same guys will be doing the work.
But yeah,
And the name.
For name on the truck.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion to change or amend our contract from McCormick Asphalt to Bettis Asphalt.
I have a motion by Commissioner Showalter,
Second.
second by Commissioner Myers. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Myers.
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Redmond.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay, next up, we'll move on to discussion items. We have a replacement of 2 poles on the electric tie-in line.
And I would ask Director of Public Power, Destin Bedore, to explain a little bit, just to give some community information about a project that'll be done. So,
This is concerning our 7-mile tie. So we had inspection on the poles done November, early December of last year. And they tagged 2 poles that need replaced. One was at 62% of life and one at 75. And so they request anything 78%, I think, is very tipping point is to be replaced. So with conversation with them, they've given us a 3-day window in March, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, that they would like to replace those 2 poles. So we will have to generate a fire plan for that 8 to 10 hour time span for the 2 poles being built. So there'll be a little cost for generation, but we can tie that into our monthly maintenance runs, so you won't really see a whole lot of cost difference. The poles are, I think the last time we had poles replaced was 2016, 17, and they averaged about $12,000 per pole. So I'll have to come in and do that because of the voltage. We can't touch that line. We can't work on it.
so Sunflower is the,
Sunflower will send a crew probably from right now.
Okay.
And while they're doing the poles, they'll replace the insulators and everything on the poles, ground wire and everything. So.
But as far as everybody in the city is concerned, since we'll be generating our own power, nobody will even notice that it's happening.
No,
Right.
no, we'll get up and run and then disconnect from Sunflower. And I'm sure Sunflower will be at the substation, make sure they put their lockout tab out on the equipment as well. And that way their guys are safe. And then, by the time we disconnect, we'll probably have already been around in 30 minutes, to make sure everything's good. So, shouldn't see any issues.
Nelson?
But it's pretty good. Out of 98 poles, we have to replace. That pole line was put in the early 80s. So it's showing pretty good.
We have any idea what days those will occur? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
13th.
What days will that occur?
The 13th, 14th, and 15th, that's 3-day window they gave us that in case we have bad weather. And we can move it a day or two. So,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week.
spring break. The people
We do some kind of, maybe a press release or something to let people know that we're gonna do that. I think it's a good time to let the community know again about, the availability of local power and what we do down there, and give the guys a plug for the work that they do, so.
Yeah, because there really would not be another option when work is being done on that tie-in line to get power.
We're on an island, that's been our only tie outside the world. So we don't have that, we have to generate. Same as like in February 2021, when that cold snap hit, they were gonna shut us off. So we produced power for 75 hours out of that week. Otherwise, it would have been negative 30 minutes of power. So
Yeah.
it's a great asset to have in this community.
A great chance to toot our own horn while we have the chance, so.
Right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Dustin.
Dustin.
All right, let's move on to reports then, starting with our city manager, Kent.
Thank you, Mayor. Included in your packet is the manager memo as well as the February month-end fund balance report. We want to go over a couple other things we did after the presentation at the last commission meeting. You had asked the representative from Community Matters Institute to come, and Barb will come at the next meeting and be able to have a discussion. We've also invited the Planning Commission to that meeting, so we will have most of the Planning Commission is able to attend, so they can hear from Barb as well at that meeting.
Good.
Probably set it up more like a work session than actual decisions being made, but we might have a little bit of discussion about that type, the format more than anything else.
Yeah.
What's on the screen now, I asked Zach and I have been working, and just wanted to give you an idea regarding the colors in the middle. Each of the 35 recommendations we have been going through and trying to just give our estimation as far as whether staff could complete an ordinance based on the recommendation to make the change in our code, whether it would be best with staff doing it with CMI or somebody else reviewing the ordinance, proposed ordinance, or in the red would be an example of an ordinance that would need to start with the experts and have us review it before the recommendation is put forward before the Planning Commission and then the City Commission. Most of the ordinances were required to go through both boards since it's adjusting language within the zoning ordinance. That's according to our city code, the way it's done. But I'll just let Josh kind of just roll through. I'm not going through, but just gives you an idea. We have one red spot, a couple of yellows. We also have some different information if we need direction in some of the other comments or some other notes regarding it. But keep scrolling through, Josh. it gives you an idea that the vast majority of the recommendations could be either staff generated or staff with some review. It's always better if the experts review what we put in there, but, and then there's a couple towards the end that, it would be better to have her, provide some expertise in creating the ordinance. So, that doesn't mean that all 35 recommendations would need to go to the full fruition of changing some language in the code. You know, that still would require approval of the different boards involved. But that gives you a kind of idea of some estimation. We're going to be sending this information and have another discussion with Barb before she would come in 2 weeks on the 18th. But try to have it in a format that makes it digestible by the boards about what's actually occurring. So hopefully that gives you a hint of the type of information, how we're going to try to present the information, and if it would be helpful or not. So, and then to start the discussion, Barb really wants a discussion, not just a presentation.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I know when we started into this whole discussion of this, you know, conceptually, it's easy to sit up here and kind of think of all the things that we want to change, and, you know, and you just think about it, it doesn't seem like it's really that difficult. But when you get down to the nuts and bolts of actually making all the changes that have to legally be made to make these things happen, it does get very complicated and convoluted and heavy-weighted very quickly. So I do appreciate the work that you guys are doing and that Barbie's done, and I'm glad that she was willing to come out and still meet with us to go over these as well. So we just keep trucking forward and get through this stuff.
The next thing I have on as far as the notes is the parks crew and the street crew, and involved an electric guy every once in a while. He wasn't wanting to be photographed, so he ran away as quickly as possible when I was taking pictures of the place. But the parks crew and the street crew did a really bang-up job installing the playground shade structure. That is big. I mean, it seems big on when you're looking at it to try to do it, but then when you actually install it, and I'm sure they would have better words for it. In fact, I should probably let Danny or Kenton talk about the installation of that shade structure. Just a sentence or few sentences if you want.
Come on up,
Instead
Danny.
of me barking about everything.
Probably the word you want, but I don't want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but without Kenton's help and his crew, there's no way the parks guys could have got this size of a project done. Lucas come over with the truck, helped us lift it up and stuff. But I figured up today, my department head report, there was 10 city employees that worked on and off 11 days on this project. And it turned out to a lot bigger project than we anticipated. Actually took 2 truckloads of cement for the footers. And with Kenton's cement measuring specialties, got it all squared up. I mean, it slipped on just like a glove. So, this is probably one, I know this is the largest project that the Parks Department's taken on. I think it's going to be a good asset, and like I say, the park's been full every day since we put it up. So, anyway, I appreciate the help getting it up, and it's a good asset.
Yeah, I know driving by and looking at it's impressive, and if you guys haven't had a chance to stop and go up and actually walk up to it and look at it close, it is, he's not kidding, it is a big, heavy-duty piece of equipment out there in the park, so I'm sure it was a lot of work getting that thing set up, so thank you guys.
So as part of that, and I think it was suggested by one of the commissioners, that we have a ribbon cutting. We wanted to wait and ask you guys what would be a good time for you all to meet at the park for 5-10 minutes and have a photo opportunity, ribbon cutting at the playground structure. And if we can also invite Paige, who helped, made the suggestion and followed through on various things and helped us get the grant to be able to get it installed.
Well, as long as it's not the end of this week, I'm gone the last couple of days of this week. I'm free pretty much anytime after that, so.
Likewise.
Next week sometime.
The next week, yeah.
Next week sometime. I'll try to figure out when Paige can be able to meet us there and then let you guys know first time.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sammy with the museum director is submitting an application for, a grant application for restoration of a mammoth tusk that they have at the, she's contacted folks with KU that said they'll be able to do it. And then also be able to design a metal piece that will allow it to be mounted and be able to be on display better at the museum. So just wanted to make you aware of that grant application. Also included, maybe that was, yeah, it was the 2025 budget calendar. City Clerk Mary Volk was gracious enough to complete the calendar. The main thing that becomes kind of the obstacle for us to be able to work through, and why we kind of, we're just letting you guys know at this point regarding going in. But the time that, there's 2 times that kind of set everything else, or sets the stage for everything else. One is when we're told what the estimated valuation is for the city, and we should get that from the county clerk around June 17th. Problem is our meeting is on that night. Our second meeting in June is June 17th. The other one is that they need, the county, according to state statute, needs our our response, our answer regarding the revenue neutral rate by July 19th, which is right after our second meeting in July. So in order, and it usually takes us 2 meetings to go through all the information on the budget. So that makes it kind of difficult. So we will try to start presenting information at that second meeting in June. There's no additional meetings set on here right now. When we get closer to the time frame, if there's a suggestion from the commission to do so, we'll certainly do that. But if we could have presentation of the budget at June 17th and then as well on July 1st. July 4th will be that Thursday, so the July 4th weekend should be the following weekend as far as when people take off and stuff. But that's when we'll have the information, and then that'll allow you guys to be able to consider information and then give staff direction about what you'd like to see and have an answer at that second meeting in July, on July 15th, so we can let the county know by July 19th. So that's why the calendar is presented in your notebooks and makes you aware of those things. So obviously there's several things that staff, department heads, city clerk mainly, putting together information that we go through in the months between now and June 17th. But gives you an idea of the time frame. And then there's time frame once, depending on what the answer is regarding the R&R rate, as far as when we hold the public hearings and approve the budget. So, did that bring up any other questions for the commissioners?
Not at this point in time.
I know y'all don't even want to hear the word budget at this point, but it's there.
Just did one.
I do want to request the building official, Hildebrand, to come up and give some updates on a couple other properties.
Hello.
So out at Meadowlark, which is 516 West Highway 24, they've dealt with a few trailers out there that people can move now and are completely off the site. The single wide that was located at 715 West 8th that I presented to you guys, I think in September, it is now removed. They're just working on cleaning up the lot now. And this one, 1004 Kansas, which has been brought to my attention by many people, and it is quite an eyesore. I've been in contact with the owners, and they stated they are going to go clean it up. And when they go over there, I'm going to do an inspection on that property, and then I'll further present it to you guys. 1608 Cherry, which was condemned before I got into this position. They have it almost completely ready to go back up and be able to rent it again. They have done all the plumbing work in it, supported the floor joist in multiple places, and everything started to look good at that one.
Good.
And then I am working with the city attorney on 416 West 15th, and that's all I can state about that, but it is being addressed. That's all. Any questions?
Thanks for all your work.
No,
Thanks.
thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
A couple more things, and it's really just information. I brought to you guys earlier this year, and had a recommendation from Commissioner Showalter to submit an application to Leadership Kansas, which is a statewide program, and they basically only have 40 people involved on an annual basis within that program. And I did not make the cut. I was not selected to be part of this leadership class, although due to the number of applications, that usually provided, there's always more than required. But they did recommend highly that another application be submitted next year. So that was a response with that Leadership Kansas. And
I'm
also,
not sure I agree with their response, but I didn't ask my opinion.
It's their loss.
there's a lot of folks involved. So.
Mhm.
Also included in your packet, I wanted just give you some information, and a lot of times we don't do this on a regular basis, but just some annual water use information. We ended up, and because of the wet spring and early summer that we had last year, our water usage was down quite a bit, and you could bring it up on the screen, Josh, if you wanted to. And one is the total water pumped per year, and we ended up below 300 million gallons, which a lot of people don't realize actually how much water we do pump. But under 300 million is lowest. And I went back further than just what's shown on your screen as far as those 6 years. I couldn't do it for the other ones. But it's the lowest in at least 15 to 16 years since 2006, 2007, which was as much time as I want to dedicate to it. And then what's shown, and then what he shows on the next slide is that ends up to be less than 200 gallons per capita per day, which is actually pretty good for our region. Our region is the westernmost counties, basically from St. Francis down to Elkhart. We're Region 1 as far as how they used to provide water use statistics. And then the next set of counties, Region 2, includes Colby and Scott City and Leota. That, down that. And it's just
Just take the
interesting.
square counties and you just move.
Yeah,
down.
just keep going along until about you get to the 135 corridor from Wichita to Salina, and then from there to the eastern border is all one region, basically, because of the rainfall and basically the usage changes. And basically our average for the region is in the high 200s. So even though ours shows for the last 5 years before this year we had 212 to 260 gallons per capita per day. And then last year went down to 183. That just shows you how much of our usage is actually outdoor usage, because it's, per person. And but we had we're grateful for the year we had last year, actually, with the precipitation. That's obviously not going to continue.
It might.
It could.
Oh, that
Good.
type of that.
Well, I hope so.
I hope
Maybe
it
not with that
continues.
attitude, but we do need to be better, as far as our water consumption and our water usage. And it's just trying to get that information out there here at the start of the irrigation season, which is not for another month or two, but for a lot of folks, but just to be cognizant of it. So as we work towards it, and just to give you an idea, Hayes has been in a program for the last 20 years. Now, they have much more desperate issues regarding water in Hayes, but their gallons per capita per day is 83, 85 is what they're at, is how much, and they were up in the high 100s, low 200s before they started doing a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of other communities, and I'll provide that information at some point, are varied around us. We're not the highest in the state. That's nothing like that. But if we can stay down near that 200 to 220 is a good goal, even in the driest of years. So just gives you an idea and gives some statistical information as we, it just helps with our equipment as well, and as far as our treatment, because all the water, whether it's outdoor irrigation or indoor irrigation, has to go be treated. So we end up getting to do the same thing we do for something that you drink. So just wanted to pass along the information, start the information regarding water conservation. So, and since our attorney was not able to be here this evening, we're not going to be able to have the executive session with the city attorney. So I wanted to let you know regarding that. I did have an individual inquire whether the city would be willing to sell property that they have on Highway 24. It's part of the old motel, what was a few decades ago or a few years ago, Motel 7 property. One part of the property was purchased by an individual at tax auction. The other property is owned by the city of Goodland. They are having to move their business, head in and inquired about that. So if the city would have any interest. So since just ask for any general direction from the commission while I discuss with the business owner involved. So it's not a retail business, but it's another commercial business that would fit the area. So that's all I can say at this point.
Okay. So I guess without having much to work on, my first thought is, for where that piece of property is located, if it is a commercial business, that kind of ties in with the other things in the area. I mean, I think I would anyway, be open to the idea of whatever it may be for consideration at least, but I would definitely want it to be something that kind of ties in with the other things going on in the area.
Okay.
As usual, well said, Aaron.
Too kind.
If there's no other comments, I don't have any other comments at this time.
Okay. Do we have any questions or comments for our city manager? All right. Thank you, Kent. Move on to city commissioners. Starting down here on my left with Commissioner Redlin.
Yep, I'd just like to say congratulations to the Goodland Cowboys and Cowgirls, and good luck at state.
All right. Commissioner Howard.
About the same thing. Go Cowgirls and Cowboys. do well at state, nothing else.
Commissioner Myers,
Same thing. Good luck at state.
Commissioner Showalter,
I would like to recognize Trooper Scott Baker, who's stationed here in Sherman County, who was recently awarded a couple of awards from the Kansas Highway Patrol, #1 largest cocaine seizure in the state, and also the most drug and currency seizures in the state of Kansas. I think it's does a great job. We're all happy that he's stationed here, and I know that Jason gets to work, him and his guys get to work a lot with him, and we appreciate the work that he does on the highways. So thanks, Scott.
all right. For my report, I will have nothing more to add this evening. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Redland,
Second.
second by Commissioner Showalter. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.